Imagine your child standing in a room with 5 friends. Everyone is laughing. Somebody pulls out something they should not have. Someone looks at your child and says, "Come on, don't be lame." Your child knows what you taught them. They know what is right. The problem is not knowledge. The problem is that doing what is right may cost them their place in the group. And you are not in the room. You cannot interrupt. You cannot pull them aside. You cannot make the decision for them. In that moment, all they have is the identity, the courage, and the convictions you helped build. Parents, we can not only teach how to behave when we are watching, we have to prepare them to stand when we are nowhere around. Peer pressure is not new. We dealt with it growing up, but the pressure children face today is different. Years ago, when many of us came home from school, we could leave the pressure behind, some of the pressure behind. Today, the crowd follows children home. It lives in the group chat. It appears in their notifications. It shows up in comments, pictures, and videos. It tells them what to wear, how to talk, what to laugh at, what to believe, what they should be embarrassed about, and what they must do if they want to belong. The school bell may ring, but the pressure never really clocks out. The crowd lives in their pocket. And parents, we need to understand something. For a teenager, belonging can feel like survival. They may know something is wrong and still be terrified to say no. They may understand the consequences and still fear rejection more. They question, they are too embarrassed to ask. Will they still like me if I don't do it? Will they laugh at me? Will I stop getting invited? Who will I sit with tomorrow? Will everybody talk about me? Those questions may seem small to an adult. They do not feel small to a child. That is why saying, just make good choices, is not enough. We have to prepare them for what making a good choice might cost. The first thing your child needs is conviction. Family values cannot remain family rules forever. When children are young, they may obey simply because mom or dad said so. But as they grow, those rules have to become their own beliefs, because a value that only works when you are standing beside them has not truly become theirs yet. Do not only tell your child what your family believes. You have to explain why. Why do we tell the truth, even when lying would be easier? Why do we protect our bodies? Why do we walk away from certain situations? Why do we refuse drugs and alcohol? Why do we treat people with dignity? Why does faith matter? Why is character worth more than popularity? Do not be afraid of their questions. Questions are not rebellion. Sometimes questions are how borrowed beliefs become personal convictions. Your child needs more than a rule to repeat. They need a reason they can stand on it. And teach them this: being noticed is not the same as being valued. Children can become addicted to the wrong kind of attention. Some learn that acting foolish gets laughs. Some discover that cruelty makes them look powerful. Some realize that breaking rules earns them status. Attention feels like acceptance. And once attention becomes a reward, they may start sacrificing character to keep receiving it. Teach your child popularity is not the same as respect. Being desired is not the same as being loved. Having people around you does not mean those people care about who you are becoming. There are people who were extremely popular in school, but never grew beyond the version of themselves that got applause. They learned how to entertain a room, but never learned how to build a life. They learned how to attract attention, but not how to keep a commitment. They learned how to impress people, but not how to develop character. And eventually, what once made them popular began damaging their relationships, their opportunities, and their future. Today's applause is not proof that your child is heading in the right direction. Sometimes a crowd celebrates today what a person spends years recovering from tomorrow. The second thing your child needs is language. Do not wait until your child is standing in that room to teach them what to say in that room. Practice beforehand. Role play the moment. Make it normal. Ask, what would you say if someone offered you something? What would you do if your friends wanted to leave with someone who had been drinking? What would you say if someone pressured you to send a picture? What would you do if everyone started bullying one person? Your child does not need a perfect speech. They need a prepared response. Teach them to say, "Nah, I'm good. That's not me. I'm not doing that. I've got to go. My parents will find out. I said no. And sometimes they don't need to explain themselves at all. They do not have to win an argument. They do not have to make the entire room agree with them. They just need to leave. Walking away is not weakness. Sometimes walking away is the strongest thing anyone in the room does. Teach your child to play the decision forward. Peer pressure keeps their attention on the next 5 minutes. Wisdom helps them see beyond it. Ask them, what happens after everybody stops laughing? What happens when the picture gets shared? What happens when the school finds out? What happens when someone gets hurt? What happens when you have to explain the decision? What happens when everyone who encouraged you goes home and you're left carrying the consequences? Because the people pressuring your child usually do not have to live with your child's consequences. They may go home. They may move on. They may even laugh about it later. But your child may be left with the suspension, the broken trust, the damaged relationship, the addiction, the injury, the regret. Teach them. Never give temporary people permanent influence over your life. Give your child an escape plan. Tell them clearly, if you ever feel unsafe, call me. If you are somewhere you should not be, call me anyway. If somebody has been drinking, do not get in that car. If you made a bad decision, you can still make the next decision better. I will come and get you. That does not mean there will never be consequences. It means safety comes before the lecture. When you pick them up, do not conduct the entire trial in the car. Get them home, let the emotions settle, listen to what happened, then address the decision. Your child needs to know that one bad choice does not mean they have to keep making bad choices because they're too afraid to call you. The third thing your child needs is belonging. It's easier to walk away from the wrong group when you have somewhere healthy to go. Your child may need to reevaluate friendships. They may need to leave the group chat, stop accepting certain invitations, change where they sit, block someone, tell an adult, or make a decision that is deeply unpopular. But parents, do not begin by saying, I hate your friends. Your child may hear, I hate the people who understand me. Instead, teach them how to evaluate friendship. Ask, who do you become when you are around them? Do they respect you when you say no? Do they celebrate your growth or make fun of you for changing? Do you constantly have to hide things from us? Do you feel stronger after being with them or smaller? Are they helping you build your future or helping you escape from it? A good friend does not require you to betray yourself to keep the friendship. And when your child walks away from an unhealthy group, help them build healthier connections, a team, a club, a church group, a mentor, a job, a new circle of friends. Do not merely take away their belonging. Help them find a better place to belong. Know your child's friends. Learn their names, invite them into your home, meet their parents when possible, know where your child is going, who will be there, and when they are coming home. That is not automatically controlling. That is involved parenting. But involvement can not only look like investigation. You do not want to become a detective your child must outsmart. You want to become a parent they can tell the truth to. That relationship is built long before the crisis. It is built when you listen without immediately interrupting, when you stay calm enough to hear the whole story, when you correct them without humiliating them, when they know that honesty may still bring consequences, but it will not cost them your love. And parents, we have to model what we are teaching. Your child is watching whether you compromise your values to fit in. They're watching whether you gossip because you want to remain part of a group, whether you tolerate disrespect because you are afraid to lose a relationship, whether you become a different person depending on who enters the room. We cannot teach our children to stand alone while they watch us abandon our convictions for acceptance. Let them see you set some boundaries. Let them hear you say, that relationship is not healthy for me. That may be popular, but it is not right. I should have walked away sooner. I made a mistake and I need to correct it. Teach them through your life that character sometimes has a social cost and that the cost is still worth paying. And when your child fails, do not shame them into running back to the same crowd that influenced them. Correct them, hold them accountable, allow consequences to teach, but do not turn one bad decision into an identity. Shame says you are bad. Accountability says you made a harmful decision and we are going to help you become wiser. Home should not be a place where wrongdoing is ignored, but it should be a place where truth can be told, repair can begin, and growth is still possible. Proverbs 13:20 says, Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. The people we walk with shape the direction that we travel. So teach your child to ask, where are these people taking me? Not just physically, emotionally, academically, spiritually, morally. Who am I becoming because I keep walking with them? Your job is not to choose every friend your child will ever have. You cannot remove every temptation. You cannot prevent every painful moment, and you cannot stand in every room. Your job is to help your child develop conviction strong enough to guide them, language strong enough to protect them, and healthy belonging strong enough to support them. Teach them that they can be kind without following. They can care about someone without copying them. They can love their friends without joining them in every decision. And they can stand alone without believing they are truly alone. Because one day your child will face a decision in a room where you are not present. And in that moment, they will need more than your rules. They will need the identity, the wisdom, and the courage you help them build. Do not only raise a child who behaves when you are watching. Raise one who knows who they are when nobody is. I'll see you on the next episode.